recording this video after close of trade Tuesday, 17th of May 2011. Hope you had a good day trading. We had some great setups today, and I came out with 7 3/4 points after 5 trades. Kind of pushed it a little bit further than I normally do, just because things were looking nice. But I suppose I was hoping for more on the downside, but 13.16 looks like the limit that we're going to go to this time around on the downside. I think we're going to bounce a little bit from today's low. 1.9 million contracts traded. Just before I go through my charts, just a little comment. I mentioned, I think, in yesterday's video or comments on the site that I had quite a few unsubscribes over the weekend, and I got a few emails from people saying, "Oh, sorry to hear about that. You know, still like the site, watch the videos, blah blah blah." Thank you very much. I mean, I really appreciate kind of the comments, positive comments back. Just put it in context, though. You know, a spike in unsubscribes for me was about 5 over the weekend. You know, normally I'd see maybe 1 or 2 unsubscribes in the day, and it kind of went up to about 5 or so over the weekend. So yeah, it wasn't a big deal. I'm not kind of worried about traffic or subscribes like that, but it was just a kind of an interesting. You can actually see kind of how the sites perform in relation to the market. Things get really active on the site when the market starts to tank, and when I kind of get bearish at new highs, I don't know, haven't noticed a correlation there, but it was just interesting. That's what happened over the weekend. So just a follow up on that. So, but thanks for all the kind messages, people saying they still kind of enjoy coming to the site. I can see that with the daily visits is up at 2,000 on average these days. So you know, the site powers on, which is nice for me. Just a little comment on silver. We've actually got a potential little setup for kind of heading back to test here on the silver chart. So we had, $50 was kind of line in the sand. We could not breach. Had exhaustion buying. All these blue professional bars kind of coming into the highs. We've come back. Professionals kind of came back in on this kind of spike down into 35 when everybody was hoping that 40 was going to hold. Pullback level has signaled, but with the last couple of days' activity, we actually had 2 amateur down bar days into the lows here, kind of testing the lows, and that in a way is showing a little bit of capitulation by the amateurs, saying, "Oh, this thing, I missed it at 50 right up here," and I feel sorry for all the amateurs who got in up here at the top, and they're kind of sitting on a 30% kind of drawdown. But anyway, that potentially is an area of where we might find some support, go back up to form an end of trend or something like that. And you can see we're setting up potentially a kind of a bullish divergence here. Obviously not as extreme kind of selling on the downside as we had in terms of momentum on the upside, but I'll be watching that. It's a potential kind of area where we might see some support and a little bit of rally. And you can see that on a few of the kind of commodity charts at the moment. We've kind of done quite a lot of price damage to the downside, and the support levels are starting to hold, and I could see us kind of pushing back up to kind of test. Haven't shown the better trend oscillators for a long time, partly because this is in a drawdown, and I haven't gone back and kind of revisited some of the code on the signals to kind of optimize this a little bit. But what we had was this kind of whole cluster of selling signals over the last couple of weeks. It's kind of sold off, taken profits with the close of today. And you can see we've kind of, this peak in the market here was a peak on the better trend oscillator. We had a very weak kind of turn here at this point where we kind of retested kind of bearish divergence, if you like, and then kind of sold off. And we've kind of reached fairly extreme values, -126, got a bullish divergence on the trend value itself today, and kind of taken profits on this system here. I actually am not trading this anymore. I find that I am making enough money day trading that I don't need to take the risk kind of swing trading on these oscillators. I still like the trend oscillator, don't have any kind of complaints. It's been a classic oscillator for me over the years, so I still watch it, but haven't spent as much time kind of working on the code as other things, other projects. So longer term tip frame charts, 40,500 tip frame charts. So here's kind of the push down into 13.16. You can see all these kind of bullish divergence patterns, blue professional bars right at the low here. This level seems to be holding a little bit, and we're kind of going to move back up. 13,500 tip bar chart, nice end of trend signal down here with exhaustion selling. All these blue professional bars kind of coming in right at the lows. Nice little pattern on the downside here, ending with an end of trend and exhaustion selling. And if we look at the 4,500 tip bar chart, you can see at the beginning of the day we kind of came into an end of trend, bullish divergence, blue professional bars, really nice. We kind of rallied from there, but very similar to yesterday's kind of trade, where this kind of market kind of spiked, almost had kind of parabolic move into the highs there at 41. And we had a similar type of pattern here when we were kind of going into the highs at, I think, about 28 or so. And exhaustion buying on the upside, blue professional bar, and we just sold off. And here's all the professional activity with exhaustion buying kind of down here, and we've rallied back. So yeah, end of trend kind of caught this nicely, big cyclical swing after this, and then interestingly we've had this move up has been kind of fairly shallow retrace, kind of batting backwards and forwards, ending up with an end of trend here. Nothing in terms of exhaustion buying on the upside, all this kind of professional activity at the end of the day. I mean, it could see us taking a little bit of a breather in the morning and selling off a bit and retesting the lows, but it could equally see us kind of cracking higher, breaking this level and kind of going on. So I'll trade my setups tomorrow with, I think in the medium term, I think we're going to have some strength going forward. Not that I think this downtrend is over by any means. I think we're just getting going. But you know, which way it goes kind of first thing in the morning, I'm not sure. And here's the 15,500 tip bar chart. You can see we kind of, this sell-off was pretty extreme, and I actually took trade before the open, trying to get into this move here. Only worked out for 1.5 points, but I thought there was going to be more on the downside here, but got out after we had end of trend here. We kind of rallied. We had a nice flush signal here with bullish divergence at the support level, bang, went on, and then this was the high 28 or so with extreme buying, bearish divergence, and then this thing just rolled over until we hit the low at 16 with a beautiful, you know, this is a classic end of trend. We've had our exhaustion selling on the downside. All the professionals kind of come back in, come back to a pullback and a downtrend with a bearish divergence signal, bang, hit the new lows, blue professional bars, kind of professionals come in again, bullish divergence. We've had our exhaustion selling out this one, so the end of trend kind of sticks. Don't have to wait for a second cyclical turn, and the thing just rallies from there. So as I said, a nice day's trading. I'll tag on my day trades, and hope you had a good day trading too. Okay, just gone short 22.75, and it is 8:13 a.m. Got this kind of bearish bias today. I know we've formed end of trend on the 4,500 tip bar chart and end of trend on the 500 tip bar, but we've just kind of rallied back up to 24. Rambo patterns, kind of amateurs at the highs here. Bearish divergence. The amount of selling that we had was really pretty extreme into this low, and so, you know, we've got to make divergence patterns yet on these couple of time frames. So, and I'm also guessing on the 4,500 tip bar chart that this, we need to see more kind of flush selling. It's like this is almost like a line kind of coming up with these bullish divergence patterns. We need to see some flushing out on the downside, and we're going to open below the low and the close of yesterday. So just got this kind of bearish, you know, thinking we might have like a bearish downtrend today. So anyway, don't usually do this before the open, but just saw this pattern. I think it's worth kind of having a go. So short at 22.75. A couple of minutes later, industrial production numbers just came out. Don't think they were all that good. It just looks like we're kind of heading down. But blue professional bars kind of coming on the 500 and the 1500 tip bar chart. So you know, quite a few of them kind of piling up here. But the amount of selling that we've got is pretty extreme compared to the end of trend warning signal here. So coming into some kind of support, but you know, we could easily just break this. You know, to turn around, we'd have to see, you know, kind of divergence patterns and things kind of closer to the zero line. So still holding, got the profit target at 18.75. So fingers crossed. Well, that was interesting. We came within 3/4 of a point of the profit target. Kind of had this exhaustion selling signals, cyclical support. You know, pro signal exits I did not get out, which I should have, and I rode it all the way back up to the entry. So we've got a cyclical turn happening on the 500 tip bar chart, another kind of amateur kind of up bars kind of here. Still think it's going to come down. We've not had bullish divergence yet, and you know, this was even more kind of extreme kind of selling at this point here. So going to be holding this through the open, which is never fun, but let's see where this goes. Okay, a couple of minutes after the open, we're heading down. We had a little bit of strength right at the open, and then we just kind of started to sell off. I'm increasing the target on this. We just had a flush signal come out. Blue professional bars coming on the 1500 tip bar chart. So no, I'm going to keep it at 1875. Leave it at that. Hopefully we'll just kind of poke below, the previous low here, and then just get a little bit of a bounce from that. So still holding short, target 1875. No, just out at 21.25. The reason for getting out just then is a bullish divergence coming on the 1500 tip bar chart, and we had this flush signal. This kind of held, the cyclical support area kind of held. I think we'll test back down, but yeah, there we go. So it's not worth holding through that. So let's wait for the next kind of little setup. I wonder if we're going to bounce from here, because we had end of trend on the 4500 tip bar chart now. A couple of blue professional bars kind of come in. We've had exhaustion, selling, and kind of bullish divergence on the 1500. And we've had our end of trends and second cyclical trends after 500 tip bar chart. Yeah, it's a shame. That was kind of 3 points pre-open, and then only ended up getting 1.5 kind of on it here. So let's wait and see. Okay, short again at 22.50, and the reason for getting short now is we've come into a cyclical turn on the 1500 tip bar chart, kind of some bearish divergence, and blue professional bars kind of up here, the highs. So let's see, this will be a pullback and a downtrend on the 1500, and then kind of the end of trend on that will be where to get out. It's kind of nicely fallen off initially, so let's see where this goes. Okay, just took a little bit of heat on that trade, but this ramp back up to 23 is being led by the amateurs. All these amateur up bars, amateur bar right at the high there, and then bearish divergence, really weak just by the zero line, so we're kind of heading back down. We did actually have end of trend print on the 1500 tip bar chart here, but we didn't have blue professional bars kind of coming in at the lows down here. A couple here on 500, so potentially we're going to reverse and go the other way, but still holding. So it's testing my patience again. No, just reversed and went long at 23.25. And the reason for doing that, this last down bar, the last kind of push down was an amateur down bar, and we're going to break up here. So this looks like kind of this low is going to hold, this end of trend's going to hold, and we're actually going to break into an uptrend. So we need to get out of this congestion zone and get to 24 and above. So 3/4 point loss on that last one, but it was worth taking. Let's see where this goes. So long at 23.25. Okay, just sitting through a little bit of consolidation here at 24. A couple of blue professional bars. They were kind of on the down here, so they've held, and we seem to be breaking above. Bearish divergence. I think we've got a cyclical turn coming on the 15. Probably have an exhaustion pattern soon, but I still think it's going to break higher. So still holding long at 23.25. Okay, just had to sit through a little bit of retrace here. Amateur down bars. Kind of broken into new highs, new kind of exhaustion pattern on the upside here. So not sure we got further to go on this, but it's still holding long 23.25. Okay, just moved my target to 26.50. Hoping to get taken out. The reason for doing that gives me 4 for the day. And we're kind of getting into a little bit of trouble here at 26. Seen no blue professional bars yet on the 1500 tip bar chart. Just had bearish divergence kind of come in here. And we've got a cyclical turn going to happen on the 45. So come on, come back up to take me out. Okay, two unbelievable things. First of all, another data outage on TradeStation. I've got to figure out if there's something systematic about that. It seemed to be just at midnight my time. And then this thing went from 26 down to 23 just in the blink of an eye. I had a couple in the bag and I didn't get out here at this signal. That was dumb. But anyway, so
We've come back into 23s, bullish divergence here, blue professional bars, appears to be holding after a Rambo pattern, and we're coming up to a cyclical turn on the 1500 after blue professional bars have come in here. So let's see if we can test back up a little bit here. Flush signal just come out on the 15 as we're coming down to the cyclical turn, so, and blue professional bar on 45. So we should kind of, that should have been just kind of a test down and maybe kind of rally back up. But let's wait and see. So still holding long 23.25. Okay, a couple of minutes later, and we appear to have been holding here at 22. Kind of spiked it down just after this flush signal, but the spike down was just a bullish divergence, and 1500 tip-bar charts now got support kind of coming. I know we're kind of underneath this kind of lip here on 45 with a little bit of downtrend, but everything else looks a little bit stronger, although Rambo pattern just kind of come in. I'm moving up my target now to 28.25, just because I'm pissed that I didn't get out the last time, and I'm going to make this worthwhile, this kind of drawdown. So hoping that we'll kind of break to new highs and kind of make it up there. Anyway, let's wait and see. Quite like this double kind of bullish divergence pattern here after a flush signal. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Don't think this will be over until we get exhaustion buying on 15. Okay, there we go. We've just broken above cyclical resistance on the 500 tip bar chart. Initially we had a little bit of a Rambo pattern, kind of took a little bit to get through, but there was the blue professional bar. I'm counting that as kind of jumping the creek and went for an uptrend now on the 500 tip bar chart. So this thing isn't over until we get end of trend on this time frame, but still got my target at 28.25. Let's see if we get there. When these things take off, they take off. There we go. We're up at almost hitting 27. Got exhaustion buying on the 500 tip bar chart and blue professional bar on the 1500 tip bar chart kind of come in. But I'm just going to continue to hold all this kind of series up here. Just hoping to get a little bit more of a push to the upside. Came out at 27.25. Just lost my nerve there. The reason for getting out is, pro signal exits on the 1500 tip bar chart. Right here, two of them up here. The original target was 27.25 for 4. So, just be stupid. It's probably going to go to 28 now. But anyway, that was, here we go. Anyway, I suppose you've got to just, well, for me it's a question of not getting greedy. It's just, when the signals kind of come out, just taking the money. Not trying to prove anything, just trying to stay ahead of the game. So 27.25 out for 4. Had to sit through this entire retrace, which was not fun, having been very close kind of previously. And now we'll have to see what kind of sets up, because you've got all kinds of exhaustion buying signals here. Blue professional bars coming on the 4500 tip bar chart. We'll see a pullback at an end of trend on 500 tip bar chart, but let's see what sets up after that. So anyway, already, so what are we doing? 3 trades up 4.75. So I'm just going to watch it and see. Oh, there you go. It eventually got to 28.25. We just formed a pullback and an uptrend just here, and it looks like we're going to go for a little bit of a push more. But for me, I'm happy to be out. It's not worth sitting through this kind of volatility in order to see that. But here's the pattern. It's going to amateur down bars into this retrace here, into a shallow kind of bullish divergence. We reached new highs, but here are professional bars kind of taking us out here. So we've got exhaustion on all these time frames now. Blue professional bars kind of come in. These are these pro signal exits. That's how I'm kind of coding them these days. Not for general release though, just for my personal use. And we'll have an end of trend on the 500 tip bar charts. We've kind of shot past this resistance level. So let's see what where this is going. I'm quite happy to be out, but I'd hate to let a good reversal day go. It's gone short 26 even, and I don't know, I've got this kind of bearish bias, and we've come into on the 1500 tip bar chart exhaustion buying, bearish divergence signals here. We kind of rolled over, End of trend on the 500 tip bar chart. Thought we might kind of make it back up to test 28 after this Rambo pattern, but that failed, and now we've got another Rambo pattern, so potentially we could test back up. But we could be going into a downtrend and testing new lows, so let's see. Okay, a couple of minutes later, we kind of tested back up, trying to get to 27 here, but you can see support becomes resistance. Amateur up bars here, blue professional bars kind of coming as soon as the lows of that blue professional bar are taken out. Things kind of looking a little bit better. Same thing here, we kind of broke the lows of that blue professional bar. The only thing that's got me concerned, a couple of Rambo patterns here on the 1500 tip bar chart as we come down to exhaustion selling here. I mean, my initial target's at 22, but really what we're playing is the sweep down on this 4500 tip bar chart, and you can't help thinking it's a bit like yesterday with a kind of early ramp. And then the thing kind of just falls to new lows. But anyway, let's see. We're in a downtrend now on the 500 tip bar chart, so this has got to play out. Okay, a couple of minutes later, and we're still sitting down here at 23. I've pushed out my target to 18. Now, it's probably dumb. Every time I do that, I kind of regret it and just should have kept it at 4. But the reason for it is, the highs were up at just over 28 today. We get kind of 10-point moves in the Dow, and kind of that would take us down to kind of the lows overnight. And just got a feeling that this thing just might all of a sudden just fall off a bit of a ledge and kind of keep going. We had a down bar here. We've had our exhaustion. Here we go. Another Rambo pattern. Okay, this is where I should probably move my target back up to 23 because that's not good. That's 22 because that's not right. So let's just do that. Okay, so target's at 22, and the reason for that is all these Rambo patterns here down at the lows. So let's see if we get pushed out, and professionals kind of coming in as well. Okay, just got out at 24 just for 2. And that's a shame, but the reason for getting out then was, didn't like these Rambo patterns kind of heading down here. Blue professional bar kind of stepped in, and we got a cyclical support here on the 1500 tip bar chart. Just didn't look like we were going to make it. We've had exhaustion selling and a bullish divergence pattern here on 500 tip bar chart. So that's another 2. Still going to watch it because if we kind of rally back up and get kind of professional bars showing us that we're going to make new lows, I'd like to make that trade. But anyway, just have to be out for another couple. It's gone short 23 even, and the reason for that is we've got a cyclical downturn on the 500 tip bar chart. This will be a pullback and a downtrend. This resistance level, support level on the 1500 tip bar chart initially held, but the rally back up was 2 kind of little amateur bars, and it's an amateur up bar on the 4500 tip bar chart. And okay, professionals just come in here on this pullback level, but if we break this support on 1500 tip bar chart, we're into a major trend move, which would kind of play out with this 4500 tip bar chart cyclical swing down. I've got this kind of bearish view. Was this a ramp up that just looked like yesterday morning's kind of trade as well? So just short 23 even. We just had an end of trend signal on the 500 tip bar chart with exhaustion selling. Still holding the profit target as 19. I suppose I'm just hoping to get pushed out on a little bit more of a downdraft. We've had we have had an earlier exhaustion signal here. One blue professional bar on the 1500 tip bar chart, potentially kind of a bit of bullish divergence here, but still holding short. Just came out at 22. Pretty bad exit there. Should have squeezed out a little bit more, but so that's just for 1 point. The reason for getting out, bullish divergence came in on the 1500 tip bar chart. Look, we've got this end of trend here on the 500 tip bar chart, so I've got to respect my signals. And this last push down at 21 was a Rambo pattern here. So as soon as we kind of broke above the high of that, it looked like initially it might kind of keep going up. Maybe we will. Annoying. There we go. Broken below. Blue professional bar kind of comes in. Yeah, so look, there was a much better exit on this to take profits out. But anyway, so out at 22 just for one. So that's 7 3/4 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. Happy with that. And it's 10:07 a.m. Interesting to see where this ends up. Could well see us making new lows today, but let's see. And there we go, back to 18, and yeah, sometimes I can really kick myself because there was another easy 4 points if I just had the nerve to hold it through. Anyway, I'm out for the day, quite happy, so let's just be watching my charts at the end of the day, see where this turns out.